After several days of not knowing what's going to happen, exactly what we thought was going to happen is happening. But let's not worry about that this video. Let's go look at a climate update. The first article, we're going to talk about what the Navy is doing to our oceans. Let's go over to the board and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, the Navy has been doing this ever since the Navy's been out, but I wanted to show you what their latest EIS report shows that they're going to do and what they have done. And I'm talking about dumping chemicals and terrible things into our oceans throughout the world. Wherever they do these war games, they just throw all this stuff into the ocean. And even though they report it, they're not responsible for it. They don't have to clean it up or anything. So some of the stuff they put in the oceans recently have been depleted uranium, heavy metals, bombs, buoys, high explosives. But now in 2016 to 2017 plan is to put 20,000 tons of heavy metals, plastics, toxic compounds, and here's a list of just some of the toxic compounds they plan on doing. Let's just look at this one here. Chromium, that's cancerous. Lead, that's not good. Lithium. All these are really bad for humans and fish alike. And don't forget, a lot of you people eat the fish that comes out of the ocean that the Navy is throwing all this stuff in here. In fact, some watchdog groups are calling this that the Navy is one of the biggest polluters of our oceans. You know, many times I always say, don't worry about being left, right, center, whatever. If you're progressive, you take all the information that you have from everybody, regardless of where it comes from, and we use that to our advantage in a progressive way to help the earth and humans and animals alike. But you'd be kind of surprised at this left-right thing. The myths out there about Republican versus Democrat. Let's go over to the board and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so in California there was a study done by Solar Pulse, and they put out a report, and it showed that Republican areas in California install 5 times more solar panels than the Democratic areas. Now, somebody might say, well, that's because they get subsidies. Well, solar panels get some subsidies, but they're pretty small compared to what big oil and gas get. They get $18.5 billion in tax cuts every year. So I have said so many times in so many videos that there are alternatives to making electricity other than fossil fuels, and they're renewable. Let's go over to the computer screen and let me show you one of those alternatives. It's absolutely ingenious. The link is down in the description area. Click it and you can watch the whole video. But stuff like this is absolutely ingenious. It doesn't do any harm to the planet, and you can get electricity out of it. Let's go over and look. There's so many reasons why you would want to try and invent new ways of making electricity that doesn't harm the earth and is renewable, like this. Water. I've talked about generating electricity with water for years. I've put up several ideas in past videos of what I call the water tower idea. But there's so many different ideas out there, and you guys know of a lot of different ideas yourself. If you have any ideas or links to any other alternatives out there, put them down in the description area. And apparently 2016 will be the hottest year ever since record keeping, with November Oh man, November has been the hottest, driest November ever on record, and we're not even out of it yet. We've had virtually only 1 inch of rain in November here in California, somewhere in there, and it takes a lot more than that. But December's our rainy season, so can be February. We'll find out what this year is going to be. It almost looked like it was going to be a wet year, but now it's looking like it's going to be a very warm, very unusually warm winter nights. 60 degrees. We should be down in the 40s or 30s this time of the year at night. We're not even close to that. The days are just gorgeous. So let's go over and look at the CO2 count as we usually do. I'll just put it right here. Alright, as you can see, that keeps rising. And of course the big news is Donald Trump wants to get out of all the UN climate agreements that the US is in. Just drop out of them. Stop paying the money. That he is a firm denialist and there's nothing you can show him that's going to be any different. So apparently the US government is not going to take part in fixing the climate change disaster that's coming. Many scientists now are calling it a disaster. It will be the end of the planet in 20 years as humans know it. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Alright guys, I wanted to make a quick video, which is probably going to turn out to be long, but I certainly appreciate all the comments in the last videos. Been excellent. Had lots of new subscribers. I appreciate you guys coming on, and I appreciate all the ups and the downs and the new comments, and until next time.